Hello friends, welcome back to Daily Movie Recaps. A new movie recapped, every single day. Today, we will recap an American satirical science fiction film, Don't Look Up, released in 2021. Spoilers up ahead, so watch out. Enjoy the recap. Dr. Randall Mindy is an astronomy professor at Michigan State University. One night, a PhD candidate, Kate Dibiasky, while working with the Subaru Telescope in Michigan, spots a comet in the outermost part of the solar system. At first, she thinks that the comet is going to pass by near Earth. Dr. Randall congratulates her on her findings, and names the comet, Comet Dibiasky, after Kate. While Randall tries to calculate its distance from the Earth, he figures out that the 5 to 10 kilometers wide comet is headed directly towards the Earth, and it will hit the planet in 6 months and 14 days, causing a planet-wide extinction. Randall quickly informs the Kennedy Space Center about the comet they found. Jocelyn Calder connects Randall to Dr. Teddy Oglethorpe, who is the head of the Planetary Defense Coordination Office. Teddy understands the seriousness of the situation, and quickly calls Randall and Kate to the White House, to have an emergency meeting with Janie Orlean, the President of the United States, and also informs them not to reveal the news to the public, as it might cause panic among the people. They reach the White House early in the morning, and are left waiting the whole day without hearing anything from the President. By the end of the day, they get the news that the President will not see them, and are sent to a hotel, where they spend the night. At the hotel, both call their loved ones, and try to find comfort without telling them what is actually going on. The next day, Randall and Kate get an appointment to see the President and her son, the Chief of Staff, Jason Orlean. They do not take the warning seriously, instead, they mock the three, and disregard their warning that the world is ending. After the trio failed to convince the President, they decide to leak the information to the press. Kate's boyfriend, Philip, gets the astronomers an interview with the New York Herald. They accept to help Randall and Kate, after confirming the news with some of the other astronomers. But first, they want the astronomers to appear on the morning talk show, The Daily Rip, hosted by Brie Eventi and Jack Bremer. However, the hosts try to sugarcoat the warning, to make it suitable for the viewers. Kate gets angry at how carelessly everyone is taking the world-ending warning, and shouts on the TV show, before walking away from the interview. However, Randall stays till the end to finish the interview. After the show, Brie invites Randall to have a drink with her later. The newspaper's analytic team then compares the results of their program, and finds out the singer who spoke about her breakup before the astronomers has got more reach than the astronomers. However, Kate's performance becomes a meme, and Randall gets known as an extremely handsome scientist. But nobody cares about what they had said. The newspaper also decides to cancel its support. To make the issue worse, Philip takes advantage of Kate going viral, and puts up an article about how he used to sleep with her. As all the news about the world ending and the astronomers goes all over the internet, President Janie Orlean gets caught up in sending obscene pictures to her Supreme Court nominee, Sheriff Conlon, who was already a part of an ongoing investigation. To save herself from the scandal and divert media attention, Janie sends the FBI to bring Kate, Randall, and Teddy to her office again, and announces the preemptive strike on Comet Dibiasky. Kate understands that the fact they are doing this is just because they are scared of losing the upcoming election. But that doesn't bother her too much, because the government is at least doing something to stop the comet, which is the most important priority at the moment. The president projects the image of a president who cares, and decides to use nuclear explosives to destroy the comet. The missile could have been launched with remote technology, but the president wanted to create a hero, and hence she brings up a racist war hero, Benedict Drask, who later takes command of the mission to destroy the comet. Kate and Randall begin appearing in many interviews as the event gets its deserved attention. Randall's continuous visit to the Daily Rip TV show resulted in developing an affair with Brie, which his wife finds out later. On the day of the missile launch, Janie organizes a grand fireworks display for her countrymen, because only extravagance helps her win the upcoming elections. The spacecraft successfully takes off, and as everybody is ready to celebrate the destruction of the comet, Peter Isherwell, CEO of cell phone company Bash, the third richest man and also the Platinum Eagle level donor for Janie's election campaign, appears and makes Janie cancel the mission. This is due to the fact that Peter's team of intellectual idiots discover some valuable mineral deposits on the comet Dibiasky, and they believe those minerals would give them a technological advantage over their arch-nemesis, China. Suddenly, Kate, Teddy, and Randall are taken away, and locked inside a room, fearing they might leak the news. A little while later, Randall is assigned as the chief advisor to the White House, and is taken to a meeting where Peter explains his plan. The plan is to send some advanced, untested drones called BEAD, into space, and break down the comet into smaller meteoroids, allowing to fall on the Earth. Janie couldn't refuse Peter's life-threatening mineral harvesting plan, because she had no one else to fund her election campaign. The idiots in the room appreciate Peter's plan, but fail to see that there would be no more men, land, or elections left to exploit, once the comet destroyed the planet. However, Randall does not agree with the plan, and all other scientists who might have spoken against it have been silenced. After the meeting, Randall gets together with Kate and Teddy. They go to a bar, where people at a near table overhear them speaking about the comet. Kate and Teddy decide to leak the information, and tell everyone at the bar that the president is allowing the comet to hit the Earth directly. This news creates panic among the public, and incites a series of riots around the city. The FBI arrests Kate again for leaking the classified information, and charges her with public property damage. At the same time, the government is ready to release her, if she agrees to keep her mouth shut about the comet in the future. Kate agrees to that, and signs the document because she is tired, and has decided not to care anymore about the comet, and what it brings to the Earth. She then returns to her hometown Illinois to spend some time before the comet hits the Earth. However, she is not accepted in her house, since her parents support the government, and do not want any traitors in their home. She then starts working as a cashier, and meets Yule, with whom she starts a relationship later. Meanwhile, Randall is working with the president, hoping that this is the only way he can help the planet in some way. Peter Isherwell, on the other hand, has illegally stored the user's data of those who used his bash cell phones. Through this data, Peter manipulates or threatens people who raise their voices against him. When Randall shared his concern about the scientific peer review process of beads, Peter threatens Randall as well, with the same user data he had illegally collected on Randall from 1993. Peter then tells Randall that he would die alone, and that his death would be unremarkable and dull. Peter's prophecy of his death based on algorithms shook Randall inside. Because he had cheated on his wife, June, and lost his family. So, Randall decided to undo all the mistakes he had made. Randall appears on the TV show again, and shouts out loud that the beads mission could fail, and the comet would lead to their extinction, but no one listens to his warnings. Randall, Kate, and other conscious citizens try to get help from other nations. However, after a massive explosion at the Russian Baikonur launch complex, beads became their last hope to save the planet from the comet. Understanding that the end is inevitable, Randall decided to spend his last moments with his closest ones. The day has almost arrived, and now everyone is able to see the comet with their own eyes in the sky. Kate and Yule record that on their phone, and start a movement called, Look Up. Millions of people join the movement, and make their posts. The president retaliates with her own movement called Don't Look Up. She also gets millions of people to join her. Riots and protests take over the street, while India, Russia, and China work together to send their spacecraft to stop the comet. Unfortunately, the launch fails. Randall takes Kate and Yule to his house, so that they can spend the last moment of their lives together. June forgives Randall, and takes him inside with Kate and Yule. Teddy also joins them. They all together prepare food, and have a little prayer before the end of the world comes. At the drone launch site, the president and all others who still believe in the mission are gathered. The spacecraft takes off, and they lose some of the drones, which is ignored, because Peter had already considered it, and has included more drones than what is actually required to do the job. However, all his calculations prove to be wrong, when all other drones land on the comet and explode. Realizing that death is at the doorstep, Peter Isherwell and Janie Orlean, along with other rich people, escaped from Earth on a spaceship, set out to find another Earth-like planet to live on. Before leaving planet Earth, Janie calls Randall, and asks him to come along, but he refuses to join them. He wanted to spend the last moments with his family, and refused to leave anyone behind for his own survival. In her greed and struggle to save her own soul, Janie even leaves behind her only son Jason, in the Bash launch site. In the end, the comet hits planet Earth, as Randall and Kate predicted, leading to the mass extinction of all living beings. Peter's spaceship found an Earth-like planet in the Goldilocks zone, and they land successfully on the planet's surface. As they come out of their pods all naked, they notice 8-legged animals with features Peter believed were called Brontyrock. Janie tries to pet one of the Brontyrocks, and it attacks Janie with its beak and kills her on the new planet. The post-credit sequence of Don't Look Up shows that Janie's son, Jason, somehow survived the apocalyptic event, and probably became the last man on Earth. He takes out his phone, and requests his dead fans, with no cellular connectivity, to subscribe to his profile, and check out his new survival selfie. Please leave a like, or comment, to let us know which movie you would like to watch next. And don't forget to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. This way you'll never miss any movie recap again. Thanks for watching, and stay safe. Watching.